Today's video is a bit different than my normal content, but this style is something I've been wanting to try out for quite some time. Today I'm going to sit down and talk a little bit about happiness. I'm going to touch on important factors in maintaining happiness and go a little into my own journey. I hope you enjoy this new format and are able to get something out of this video. And if you do, please consider liking the video and subscribing if you want to see more like this. Last night I completely rearranged my room. I wanted the bed to be up against the wall and the window, and I wanted more of like an open space because I thought it would make it easier for me to keep my room clean and organized. Newsflash, it probably won't. The reason I'm telling you this is because it's a great example of why I've struggled with being truly happy for most of my life. I use the term truly because I have felt happiness. I've had joyful moments. I've been happy. My struggle lies in maintaining that happiness and being in a state of joy rather than just having joyful moments. Being truly happy to me is not experiencing an extreme fluctuation of emotions on a day-to-day basis, but rather being able to control those emotions and understand those emotions and being able to say that I'm happy no matter what point I'm in my life. I tend to let fleeting emotions and experiences affect my overall mood drastically. Rather than understanding that bad times are temporary and they're what make the good times so good, I let them kind of derail me entirely and I forget every good emotion I've ever felt, and I convince myself that I'm never gonna be happy ever again. Circling back to rearranging my room, because I said that for a reason, and I'm sure you're thinking, what in the world does any of this have to do with rearranging your room? Hello, Hermione. Hi, you wanna say hi? Say hello. I'm constantly living in my head in a world of, if I do this, if I had this, when I get here. I tell myself I can finally be happy if I get something, if I achieve something, if I leave one place and get to another. Instead of focusing on what I can do internally to make my life better, to make my mind better, I'm focused on external things that I think I want or I think I need, and I tell myself that those are gonna make a difference. I tell myself rearranging my room will make me less messy, more organized, and more productive. And I do nothing internally to make myself more productive. I change none of my habits to make myself less messy or more organized. I just rearrange my room and say, oh, it's gonna be better this time. I think an important thing to realize on your journey with happiness is that happiness comes from mental work and mental strength. Yes, having a clean and organized living space does help with productivity, but that alone is not going to make you any more productive. Yes, leaving a place where you feel anxious and going home does help you with that anxiety in that moment, but it's doing nothing to help you build tools in your mind to deal with that anxiety. And you don't want to live a life where you're just too anxious to do anything other than be at home. It's not going to help at all with long-term management of anxiety. And what happens when you get in a situation where you can't run? What are you going to do if you're stuck in a situation where you can't just go home right away and you have to deal with that anxiety head on? And really, I just think it's important to be able to not run away from your problems and from situations like that, because how can you grow and experience life, like really experience life, if you're too afraid to push through the difficult times where you feel anxious or homesick or things like that. And I'm speaking from a personal experience here, a personal recent experience where I was unhappy and anxious and homesick, and I left a place that, you know, I did have good times and I had some awesome opportunities and would have kept having awesome opportunities if I had stayed, but I tend to run from situations when they get difficult, and I don't want to do that anymore. So that's why I've been kind of, you know, working on this, thinking about these things, and I decided to sit down and make this video to talk about them, because maybe if I talk about them, I'll be more willing to actually make a difference in my own life. In order to be happy, you have to put in the work. You have to build healthy habits, tear unhealthy ones down. You have to educate yourself. You have to challenge yourself. And yes, while doing this, you have to take care of yourself, because it is going to be hard. And also, physical health is very directly linked to mental health. So you have to be eating well. You have to be exercising. Get up and walk a little. Do a little bit of physical exercise. And when I say that external things don't promote happiness, I'm not saying that they're useless. They will help. It's just that they can't do it alone. You have to pair it with mental work, mental challenges, mental strength, exercise, a healthy diet, rearranging your room, buying that game you really like. Yes, they do help with happiness, with productivity. However, they do not equal happiness or equal productivity. There's a numerous amount of things that have to go together to create true happiness and a lasting productivity, not just fleeting moments where you quickly write 2 pages in your essay and then it's just gone and you're like, well, crap, it's due tomorrow and I have no idea what else to write. You have to be willing to be vulnerable. You have to be willing to work at it. You have to destroy bad habits, no matter how much you like the things that are these habits. You have to be willing to sit in the bad emotions and understand them so that you can know that they can't hurt you. I had an experience with a therapist once where I started having a panic attack during a session, and this is my, I think, first or second session with this lady. So I was not super comfortable with her yet, but she said when I started having this panic attack, she didn't want me to kind of distract myself and calm myself down. She wanted me to sit in that feeling so that I can understand that it couldn't hurt me. Yes, I might feel like I was dying and feel extremely afraid, but I wasn't actually gonna die. Now, this was the right method at the wrong time. I was not prepared for that. I was not ready, I think, and I wasn't in a comfortable space, and I wasn't prepared to sit with my emotions like that, sit with my feelings. I think that it is really good to sit there and feel and understand that that's as bad as it gets. You know, there's nothing worse that's gonna happen, you know. It's really important to understand your emotions and where they come from and to sit in them so that you can know, like, this is it, you know? But that's what it takes. It takes facing those emotions head on when you're ready, when you're mentally prepared, when you want to make a difference, when you want to change how you've been feeling. And it's scary. I'm not gonna say that it's not. I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh, I've done all of this and I am so happy. I'm probably the happiest person on earth and you guys are all behind and you need to catch up. No, I get anxious on a daily basis. I struggle with happiness a lot. That's why I'm making this video, because I think it's important for people that struggle with this to, talk about this together, talk about their own experiences, because that's how you learn, that's how you can grow. And, if saying any of this helps anybody else, then that's awesome. And maybe someone will comment on this that they'll say something that will help others or help me. And, we're all in this together, as cheesy as that sounds. We're all struggling. And I think it's really important to help each other out, because life is too short to waste so many years not truly enjoying it and being truly happy. You have to understand that life is not perfect. You're going to feel unhappy. You're going to feel angry. You're going to feel scared. You'll experience loss, pain, fear, hurt, heartbreak, disappointment. That's guaranteed, unfortunately. Except not unfortunately, because those emotions, those experiences, without those, the good times wouldn't be near as good. Nobody wants to go watch a movie where it's just perfect the whole time. We'd be bored. We need the conflict. That's why every movie has conflict. Yes, sometimes the conflict goes on way too long and you're like, can you just make things better already? But without a little bit of conflict, the movie is boring. You need a little bit of sadness to truly appreciate happiness. So these tips of bettering yourself, making yourself mentally strong, it's not just gonna, boom, no more sadness, no more anxiety, no more anger issues. It's not gonna do that, because we don't want it to do that. We want to understand those moments and be able to withstand those moments so that we can truly appreciate the good moments. If things were good at all times, we'd lose a sense of how good they actually were. They'd lose their spark. Conflict creates resolution. And resolution is the part that feels so good, That's all I really have to say at the moment about this topic, because I am still learning about this topic. I'm still learning how to be happy. I actually have a book that I'm reading with my dad right now. It's called Unwinding Anxiety. We're only halfway through, and this is the first book I've read about mental strength and healthy habits and bad habits and happiness and things like that. I have a very, very long way to go. I would like to sit here and say oh, I'm so happy, I'm halfway through and I'm already never going to be anxious again. But that's just not true. And I don't want to lie to you. I want to be completely transparent. I know that I sounded confident and like I know what I'm doing regarding mental work and confronting your emotions head on, but I don't. I'm terrified to do that. But I'm trying, I'm putting forth an effort because I'm tired of running away from things when it gets hard and missing out on great opportunities because of my anxiety and my unwillingness to kind of push through the bad times. Life is really short. It's scary how short it is. And I don't want to wake up one day and I'm 87 and look back and think, wow, I wasted a large portion of my life. So yeah, this is just kind of the start of my journey. I plan on making more videos like this where I just sit down and talk about what's on my mind. I already have one idea for one later on this week, maybe. But yeah, let me know if you enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed the format, if you enjoyed the topic, what your thoughts are on happiness and achieving true happiness. Really just let me know anything that kind of you thought of during this. It doesn't even have to be related to the main topic. It can just be a tiny little side note. We are all in this together. Again, as cheesy as that sounds. And we should help each other out. So, let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you've done in your life to help promote happiness and maintain happiness. And yeah, I'll continue to learn alongside you, so I'll be sure to share anything that I learn. And yeah, I will see you next time for our next little morning chit chat. Yeah, that's basically it.